Well, welcome in once again, everybody, to another what's going to be a great edition of the best damn podcast, golf podcast on the air. 19th hole podcast for golfers. I'm your host, Dennis Silvers, and appreciate you viewing us, whatever platform you're on, with YouTube or Facebook or Apple app or Roku television. We're on a lot of them. We like to get it out there, so we appreciate you tuning in every week. We got a great show for you today. Before we bring on our very special guest, got a little tournament going on in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at a great venue that's got a lot of history called Southern Hills. Let me give you a rundown on the favorites for the PGA Championship. Scotty Scheffler just won. He's playing great. He's 12-1. Jon Rahm, who seems to be a heavy favorite with a lot of people I know, is 14-1. Rory McIlroy, I believe, is leading it right now. He's 16-1. Justin Thomas, everybody's favorite all the time, at 18-1. Jordan Spieth, who's playing very good golf right now, is 20-1. Cameron Smith, Colin Morikawa, and Patrick Cantlay are all at 22-1. Tiger Woods at 60-1. He just finished. Not real great. He's 4 over. Finished the round at 4 over. Struggled a little bit. I think it's only going to get worse for him tomorrow. John Daly, Big JD, 2,001. This dude shot 2 over par. Pretty darn good in my book. So anything could happen with JD tomorrow. Our locals, again, get no respect. Kevin Na is the only one I found. He's at 300-1. So it's going to be a great tournament. It's a great venue. We got a long way to go. Half the field just teed off a little while ago. And our guest on the show today is out there live at the PGA Championship. Let me tell you a little bit about Major Ed Pulido. Major Ed is retired from the U.S. Army after about a 19-year career. Major Ed had to have his left leg amputated, unfortunately, in 2004 due to extensive injuries from an explosion. He is the vice president Folds of Honor Foundation, a great charity organization that provides spouses and children of fallen or wounded soldiers educational scholarships. How good is that? It also helps run the Heart of a Lion Foundation, created by PGA Tour icon John Daly. So we're going to be talking about that. General David Petraeus awarded Major Ed the Bronze Star with Valor, the Purple Heart, the Meritorious Service Medal, and Joint Service Commendation and Achievement Medals. Pretty awesome, okay? Major Ed's story has been featured in several print publications like Time Magazine, PGA Magazine, Fox News, CNN, and many local and national stations as well. Major Ed has received many other awards from civilian organizations like the American Red Cross and Daughters of the American Revolution, as well as many others. He is a national and global spokesperson of a number of organizations that address the issue of mental health for returning veterans. He is also a brand ambassador for our title sponsor on this show, Encore Golf, and of course we'll be talking about that as well. And he and his great family reside in Edmond, Oklahoma. So my question right now, or my pleasure right now, is to bring on camera Major Ed Pulido. They call him Major Ed, but you could call him anything he wants, including he's a great guy. Major, thanks for taking time out. I know you're live at the PGA Championship out there. How are things doing in Tulsa?
Well, they're outstanding. And first of all, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Live.
I can hear you fine.
Well, it's been a great day. You know what? It's awesome energy that you're seeing here in Tulsa with the PGA Championship. A lot of energy, a lot of passion, and then a lot of the work that's being done for the golf course to be in excellent shape. Hopefully the rains will stay away, a little heat will come in, but it's going to be a beautiful week, and certainly honored and grateful that I get an opportunity to be out here with John Daly and so many other great professionals that love the game.
Yeah. How far is Edmond, where you live, from Tulsa, Major?
Well, from where I'm at to Southern Hills, it's about a hour and 10-minute drive,
Okay.
and it's easy, all turnpike. And the great thing about all of that is that I used to work, of course, at Folds of Honor, and Folds of Honor was based in Owasso, which is right next to Tulsa.
Right.
But again, the weather's great, and it gets hot in Oklahoma.
Sure.
But to play a major like this, I think everyone's excited. And you know what? At the end of the day, people aren't looking at the heat; they're looking at the leaderboard and seeing
Right.
what's going to happen and who's going to be hot.
That's exactly right. Who's going to be hot, not only weather-wise, but on the golf course? First of all, Major Ed, many thanks on behalf of everybody here at the studio for your service in the military. But my question is, did you always want to make the military a career? And if you did, why did you choose the Army? I happen to be in the Army. I was in '03, so you would have been my boss. But anyway, why did you pick the Army, and what was there about the military?
Well, I'll tell you that the reason I joined the Army was my father was a Vietnam era veteran, Agent Orange, Purple Heart, Bronze Star, Silver Star, very well decorated individual. I used to ask him all the time why he would not put his awards up and why they were.
Okay, we seem to be having a problem with the volume from Major Ed. He is coming to us on his cell phone. So I think what we'll do, we'll try to get that corrected.
I'm back.
Are you back? Okay. I didn't know
Yes.
where you went for a little bit. Go ahead. Continue what you were saying with your dad being a decorated soldier.
Well, he's a decorated soldier. All I ever saw was that he actually put on his combat boots every day. He worked hard and he took care of our family. And it was just an important endeavor that we understood that we had to serve our country in uniform as well. And that's exactly what we did. And my brothers also took on the oath of office, Navy, Air Force. And then, of course, at the end of the day, we all decided that it was just a very special time to serve our country and in remembrance and honor of those that have come before us, but also of my dad. And he's still alive and ticking and doing well.
Great.
But that's why I joined, and I just decided that I wanted to do something above myself.
So I'm assuming, Major, and maybe I'm wrong, that if it wasn't for this horrific accident that you experienced, you would have been a lifer?
Yeah, I did 20 years of service. I was on my 18th year when this happened, and losing a leg was probably I always tell people it was the worst thing that ever happened to me, but also it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. My life changed forever. I decided that I wanted to be purposeful and utilizing my military career to do a lot in the philanthropy footprint. And that's exactly what we're doing. And so learning not only how to adapt, but also be resilient. And then also talking about the mental health stressors of war and helping our service members and utilizing the game of golf as a way for recovery and possibilities and cognitive and comprehension. I mean, when you look at the game, what we've been able to find is that it's very good for people that have traumatic brain injuries and brain connection with the fact that you're hitting a little golf ball, you're playing, and you have to concentrate that, a lot of those elements are technique elements that are very fruitful for making sure that people with traumatic brain injuries have an opportunity to be out on the links and doing something really powerful.
Absolutely correct. Very well said. You'll have to forgive me. I tried to find out, but I'm assuming, do you in fact play golf, Major?
I do. I actually play about once or twice a week. I do a lot of pro-ams. I'm involved in a lot of activities, a lot of charitable events. Last week, I actually played golf 3 times. And my game of golf, I got to tell you, I'm not here to keep score. If I need to, I will. But what I like to do is I like to play the game. I like to tee it up in the fairway. I like to get the ball up there. I like to putt the way I want to putt. Certainly abiding by the rules and trying to do everything that I can adaptively. But, the only thing I really do is kind of tee it up on the out there on the fairway.
Yeah.
And the reason I do that is so I can get it to where I need to get it to. And I always tell people I have a driver, a 7, a putter, and then that pitching wedge, and that's kind of my bag,
That's great. It's just the idea of being out there and helping out and having a little good camaraderie with other people. I mentioned a little bit earlier, and I want to get involved in this. How did you get involved with John Daly and get involved with the Heart of a Lion Foundation that you guys started? And please tell our viewer what that is all about and what you guys do.
Well, it's interesting. We were sitting around the kitchen table at John Daly's house, and I had just brought 30 of my fraternity brothers and friends over to play golf with him during the COVID time frame. Of course, people weren't traveling. We decided to take a private jet over to Arkansas, and we actually played around with John and some other celebrities. And the great thing about it is that when I was sitting there in the kitchen with John, he had just received the news of his testicular cancer. And, it kind of hit him pretty hard. My dad was going through the same cancer issues as well, except he was terminal from the Agent Orange that he was exposed to. And so we got to talking. And one of the things that he said to me when he kind of broke down, he said, what's our legacy going to be, Major Ed? And as we were preparing the food for all my guests, I told him, I said, John, I've got a great legacy. And he's like, well, do you really have a legacy for who you are as Major Ed? And it was just one of those things where it was a deep conversation. But one of the things that he said to me, he's like, I've had a lot of people say they want to do charitable work with me. Yeah. They want to run an organization for me. And he didn't want to be taken advantage of. And he said, if I ever decided to do a charitable cause, would you jump on board with it? And I said, you bet, John. And all of a sudden we're like, well, we ought to start something like now. And I'm like, well, John, I got a job. And, he said, well, the timing couldn't be better with COVID, and we have time on our hands. Why don't we think it through? And I gave it some thought, and I said, well, what are we going to call this, John? And he's like, well, you know what? I'm the lion, and you're the heart. You're the Purple Heart.
Perfect.
So we named it the Heart of a Lion, John Daly, Major Ed, Heart of a Lion Foundation. And you know what? We haven't looked back. It's been an incredible journey. And John is just an incredible guy. And one of the things that he said to me is, you know what, I'm going to change some of the things that I've got going on in my life. And I'm going to make sure that philanthropy is one of my focuses as I move forward in this new chapter on the PGA Champions Tour, arena. And this is just something that I just thought was powerful. And so we do mental, physical, and wellness support to our nation's veterans and their families, our first responders, and America's children. And that's our mission.
That is absolutely awesome. I was going to bring up the cancer issue with him. When you look at him, though, Major Ed, he's a little bit overweight, but he looks great. How is he feeling? How is he doing health-wise?
You know what? He's doing excellent, and he's cut down on a lot of the things that a lot of people think that, he was drinking a lot and all of that. I'm just going to tell you, I've been around him. He has, he's gonna partake, but I think he also knows and understands that when you reach 50 plus years old, you can't hit it and grip it like you used to.
Right.
So you got to change your footprint, change your body dynamics, the things that you got going on. He smokes his cigarettes, he has a good time, he laughs. I just think that's all of those things, that's what works for him.
Right.
That's what I tell people. Everyone in this country is all up in arms about, here's how you need to be.
Right.
Here's where you need to, how you need to go about in your life. I just think all of us need to live our lives the best that we can live them. And you know what? At the end of the day, the good Lord is looking out after you. And if you believe in faith and in love for country and love for your family, and you live a fruitful life, you know what? We all have a number in this world. And I think as John always puts it, he's going to live his life to its fullest. And that's what he's all about. And that's what JD stands for. And that's his legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just incredible. He's loved by so many people because he brings that to a lot of people. It's unbelievable. Last question before we take our first short break, Major Ed. How much or who helped you with a golf swing when you got your prosthetic? Because it's a little bit different, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I'm going to tell you that I didn't really get a lot of help. A lot of people were trying to tell me what to do. And it was John Daly, ironically, who told me you're going up too fast from, you're down in your stance. You're bringing that club back too fast, and your club head is out of control. And the way that he told me to do it, which is now I hit it all straight every time, mostly. But what I do is I go back with my golf club. Say I'm doing the driver. Mm-hmm. I go back, I stop, and where I'm going to take it to this farthest point in the back, and then I kind of do a little bit of a stopping motion, and then I come with the full speed coming forward. And what it's done is it's controlling the club a lot more, as opposed to bringing it and doing it all in one motion.
Right.
So I'm doing a 2-motion approach, going up and then coming down, and doing probably about a half a second wait before I come down, and then I'm just running over with the ball smooth, and then
there you
following
go.
through like anybody else would do.
There you go. That's awesome. I ought to put you together with a good friend of mine. You probably know him, former PGA Tour star Ken Green, who also just a great guy. You two would put on one hell of an exhibition, let me tell you. And get JD out there, it would be awesome. All right, I'll tell you what, Major Ed, stay right there. We're gonna step away. We're gonna take a short break and come back. We'll have a lot more with a terrific guy. And right now, we're going to kick it off with Tee Time with JT on JT Fitness and Golf. Be right back.
Welcome to Tee Time Fitness with Janice. Hi, I'm Janice Thornton with JT Fitness and Golf, and let's get into some stretches that you can do on the driving range. So grab your driver and let's get started. First stretch, I want you to take your driver. You're going to put it in front of you. This is a great stretch for your back. You just want to hinge over, lean forward, and feel a great stretch in your lats. I just want you to gently rock back and forth with that driver. Your goal is not to bend your driver as far as you can. It's just that you want to use it as a prop. Allow yourself to go back and forth and gently side to side. So definitely do this stretch to get your lats warmed up. Take your game to the next level. Join the JT Fitness and Golf 90-day golf fitness program. Go to jtfitnessandgolf.com for more details.
We all know that just about everything today is getting more expensive, and golf is no exception. Well, I'm here to tell you about one golf company that is designed to save you money. That's right, I said save money. Welcome to BreakfastBalls.golf, a company that sells the best used golf balls in like new condition at a fraction of the price you'd pay anywhere else. BreakfastBalls.golf carries all the popular brands of balls, from Pro Vs to Callaway to TaylorMade to Top Flight and many, many more. They even will ship you colored golf balls if that's your choice. They offer a great membership program as well, where members receive free shipping all of the time, plus great discounts. Save money and time. Go to breakfastballs.golf and check them out. So why not give yourself a breakfast ball on every tee, not just the first? Go to breakfastballs.golf and save money. All right, welcome back, everybody, to more than 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers. I'm Dennis Silvers, having a great conversation with our special guest, retired Major Ed Pulido. And Major, I don't mean to get political here, but do you think the government is doing enough today for veterans, and particularly wounded veterans? And if you had the chance, say, to run the VA for a week, what would be the first thing you would change or implement?
Well, I will tell you, I would say there's a yes and a no to that question.
Okay.
The yes is that there's a lot of things that they put a lot of money behind. But the problem is that money's not what the solution is always needs to be. And what I've learned is that if I had an opportunity to change the VA in 1 week, the first thing that I would do is from a compensation and benefits level, that's where I would start. I think that a lot of veterans in this country, when they get out of military service, are not rated the correct rating system that they should be entitled to.
Right.
I think what happens is that sends a lot of veterans into despair, into thinking that they're not going to get the benefits that they deserve. The disabilities that they may have are not structured and are diagnosed properly. And so what we do is we end up doing a lot of work at the beginning to basically try to focus and make sure that everything gets remedied at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very long process. And so what happens is in that waiting time frame, there are a lot of veterans that take their lives. There's a lot of veterans that have mental health and other stressors. And a lot of it has to do with the financial side of it. If you really look at it, the financial side of it and the compensation, if I had to change things around, that would be the first thing I would do, is increasing the amount that people are getting to a living wage. And I hate to say it that way, but that to me is the most important thing. And then you throw in healthcare and you throw in everything else, and you maximize things and you cut waste. And I think to me, that's not political. That's insightful. That's understanding. And I'll give you an example. When I came on board and I told them that I was going to, what kind of golf shoes should I get? I went to this therapeutic session with my therapist. And one of the things that they kind of asked me, they're like, well, we can get you some shoes that you could probably use on the golf course. And they weren't the kind of shoes that I would ever wear, and they ended up getting them for me anyways, and they're $250 shoes, which I would have never worn. Now, if I'm an older gentleman and my feet are bad, and I required those kind of that kind of footwear, that would have been a great intervention and a great supportive deal. But for me, those shoes sat in my closet. That's $250 that you just spent that didn't need to be spent. And that to me is where the wasteful spending occurs on just not only that, but on so many other things. Yeah. And I will say this, with this pandemic, we've been able to see how wasteful our leaders can be in not understanding and making sure that they implement things that are going to work, and that we don't have wasteful spending just to spend money on things that are not needed. And I think to me, that would be my thing to everyone out there. Even in the golf industry, when you buy golf clubs, you're going to try to maximize the amount of dollars you spend to get the best product that you can.
Absolutely.
That's the approach that we should all take.
Yeah, no, that's very, very well said. I agree with you 100%. That was spot on. What brought about the book, an autobiography of Major Edward Pulido? What was your purpose in writing the book, number one, and what are some of the things in the book that you talk about that are important to you, Ed?
Well, I think that my faith and love for country and love for family would be number one. Number two, it was also to tell my story based on the fact that I live with a traumatic brain injury. I'm not sure if you even knew that, my comprehension, my cognitive, all of those things I actually struggled with. And it was the game of golf that helped me to really get back on my feet, reconnect the brain, and do all these interactive and stimulative things that are important for good brain function and brain development. And I had to study a lot on the body and all of that. And then thirdly is wanted to help people with the book. The book is a helping book. You're not going to get a book on Rambo and doing all kinds of stuff on the battlefield. We'll leave that for Sylvester Stallone. You know what I mean? But that's your era. You know what I mean? And you remember Rambo in those days? That man was the man.
Oh yeah.
But I don't want to be Rambo. I just want to be Major Ed. I want to help people. I want to use the book as a way for recovery, and I want to give the book to people that are having challenges going on in their life right now. And if you have a challenging time that you're dealing with, that book is right for you because it tells you to never quit. It talks about resiliency. It talks about activities that you can do, like golf for me, to be able to do something productive and as a hobby. And I think to me, that's what you're going to get from this book is a purpose-driven book on all of those elements.
Yeah, that's interesting. And to be perfectly honest with you, I did not know about the brain thing. But when I talked to JD and I told him you were going to be on the show, he said, "God, that dude's crazy." So I guess he was talking about that brain injury.
That's right.
But let me ask you. What advancements, and you've had your prosthetic for a while, but are you aware of the advancements that they've got to be making today, Major, in prosthetics, arms, legs, so on and so forth?
Everything, yes. Everything is there to improve quality of life. And I think to me, that's the most important thing that I think anybody can take from today's podcast too, is utilizing the game of golf to improve your quality of life.
Yeah.
And what I would say is, just like what they're doing in the golf industry with all the new clubs. I mean, I just saw that I just hit the ball with the TaylorMade driver the other day. I will tell you the distance on that thing is incredible. The shoes that John wears with squares is a really powerful thing. It's footwear. And then I also throw in the golf balls. The Encore golf balls are incredible. I use those as well. So that's the way I sort of approach the prosthetic world too, is that the technology advancements that are coming down the pike, I have in my leg, my prosthetic, a golf mode. And I told them that I wanted a golf mode. And what happens is when you're getting ready to hit the ball on the tee or wherever you are, what it's done is that golf mode locks it, and you get better stability, a little bit of a knee bend from the prosthetic knee that I have. And that way I'm able to engage the ball, but also not get hurt, because you don't want to get hurt while playing the game.
No.
And so those are things that are from an advancement point of view, the technology. And then what this new prosthetic that I have does is it saves energy. And that's very important when you're out playing golf or you're doing any type of extracurricular activities, that you save energy, and that it helps you, if you're going up a hill, it helps you go up a lot smoother, with some better technique. And it just saves your other parts of your body, like your back, neck, and other things.
Yeah, which is really important. All right, you just mentioned Encore. You were at the PGA show in Orlando a few years ago, and you got involved with our sponsor, Encore Golf, and you're one of their great ambassadors, and they have terrific ambassadors. How did that whole thing come about? How did you guys hook up?
It was interesting. Scott Berger at my club carries the golf balls. And Scott came up to me, and he's like, he gave me the green one, and he's like, "Hey, you need to hit this thing." And it was so funny. I was playing around, and a lot of people don't know that I ended up getting a hole in one.
No,
now, of course,
wow.
it was a hole in one and a little bit of a shorter distance, so I have to admit that. But to be able to hit the ball, and it was just a smooth swing, and the ball went and had great distance to it, I just kind of fell in love with them. And you know what? There's a small company trying to do something in the big space.
Yeah.
I'm a Titleist guy. I love Titleist. I love all of those brands. But, I want to support a small company that's going somewhere. Everyone has to start somewhere. Everyone has to grow from someplace.
Right.
And I just think what they're doing, and what they're engaging in their community efforts to support philanthropy, it just made it the right choice to be an ambassador and supporter of the ball.
No, that's absolutely great, and you gave a very good example, Major. And I know Keith Blakely, the chairman of the company, who you know, started a
Yeah.
GoFundMe page to raise money for this horrible tragedy, this senseless killing in Buffalo, a few days ago, and
Yeah.
they're raising a pile of money. So good on them. They've got great people. Before we take our next break, years back, I was involved with the Las Vegas Parks and Rec Department, Major Ed, to help put on an event for golfers that were disabled in one way or the other. They stopped doing it, unfortunately, but during that time, to see these guys, whether it's an arm, whether it's a leg, or whatever, they're absolutely amazing. Do you get involved in something like that now?
I do. I took 25 Warriors 2 years in a row to Ireland. And one of the things that we wanted to do was show them the new prosthetic technologies, not only in the arm world, but also in the leg world. And then anything else on how adaptively the equipment that is put together, how can it be better utilized? And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand. We're not just talking about prosthetics and orthotics. We're talking about other technologies that advance support for injuries that people may have. There may be people that have a back and neck injury, and there's some
Right.
things there that you can do and products that you
Correct.
can utilize that help. So that's what it's all about, and that's what I advocate for. It sounds like you do too, and that's the way we get ahead: doing
Yeah.
research, doing product development, and then product implementation. And that's the way that we run businesses, and that's the way that it's key to making sure that people understand what's coming down the pike as we move forward.
Absolutely. Real quickly before we take our break and come back to you, hopefully JD's going to make the cut. You're going to stay all 4 days?
Yeah, it's funny. Toby Keith's event's happening over the weekend as well, and there's
Oh,
another
really?
charitable event that he's going to be going to, and then we head up for the KitchenAid event up there in up there near Chicago, and near the Michigan Shores area there, right by Chicago and South Bend. But it's going to be a great time. I will tell you that I just hope that JD does well. You know what, JD,
Yeah.
1991, he won that thing, and you just never know. I mean, I think that when he does his job, man, and he plays, he can play real well. The problem is that, like in anything, you get one bogey and then you mess up one hole, and it
Right.
could take you down on a downward spiral.
Right.
My good friend Cam Smith is a prime example of what happened at the Masters. So you never know, and that's why you got to always have your composure.
Yeah, JD still has the talent. You're absolutely right. So let's keep our fingers crossed. All right, stay with us, Major Ed. We're going to step away, take another short break. We'll come back, and we will finish up with our guest and have some other stuff to put out. We'll be right back after this. Hey, golfers. I've been a golf talk show host for a long time, and I've been playing golf even longer. Being in golf media, I've had the chance to play every ball ever made. I've tried them all. Well, my search is finally over because I found the best ball I have ever played with. And more golfers are finding the same thing. I started playing with the Elixir golf ball made by Encore Golf. Encore Golf has revolutionized both their golf balls, the Elixir or the Avant 55, or the brand new Vero X1, to where the performance of either will simply blow you away. It did me. If you're looking for better performance and durability with your ball, Encore Golf has it. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out at EncoreGolf.com and you'll become convinced, as I am, the first time you tee it up with Encore. It's the best performing ball for the price. Go to EncoreGolf.com and see for yourself. Your scores will love you for it. That's ONCORE golf.com. Fabulous Freddy's is having a spectacular coupon book sale going on right now. Their sale price on coupon books for either full service or exterior only is fabulous. You can purchase a coupon book where you buy 7 and get 3 free, or you can purchase 4 and get 1 free. Head over to the Fabulous Freddy's on the southwest corner of Charleston and Fort Apache and check it out. Your car will love you for it.
Experience a salon like no other. Charm Beauty Lounge specializes in hair, skin, and a non-surgical, painless way to fuller hair, designed to boost hair volume up to 400% without glue or solvents. Make your appointment today. Call 702-201-1655.
Hey! Hey, beautiful, come on in. Charm Beauty Lounge. Charm Beauty Lounge.
All right, as advertised, we are back. We're going to finish up the show with Major Ed, and I wanted to ask you, very important, where could viewers and listeners get a hold of the book, Major Ed?
Well, they can go to majored.org and get a copy. That is majored.org.
Okay.
And learn a little bit about the book and what it's all about. And that's a great place to go. Or they can go to jdme1991.org as well.
Okay, and I remembered, I apologize for not remembering her name. How did you select the woman that you were talking to help you write the book?
Well, I chose her because one of the things that I learned about her was that she had written some books as a ghostwriter for some highway patrolmen and some military folks on what their journeys were after life-changing injury. And I felt like she would have the thought process, because she'd actually had gone through that with a loved one, that it was important to have someone that had lived it, understood it, and understood it from a perspective of a reader or a experience, not necessarily the person that went through it physically and mentally, but someone that went through it as a family member. And because that perspective is one that I wanted to make sure I hit on, because I was going to hit on my perspective, but knowing the perspective of a family member is also an approach that's important for healing and for hope as well. Right.
Okay. I get that completely. I know I'm going to be asked, last question before I let you go. God, he was terrific. How could we reach out and help Major Ed in whatever area they want to? What's the best way our viewers can help you out?
Well, they could certainly give to the John Daly Major Ed Heart of a Lion Foundation.
Okay.
They can give generously with their dollars. They can do events for us. For example, a third-party event, a golf tournament.
Right.
I can't always guarantee that JD will show up. That's not easy on my end because of his schedule, but certainly I will show up. We do third-party events all over the country at golf courses, so people can do that. And then the other thing too is they can book me to come speak at their event, tell my story, and do a keynote address. I just did one earlier this morning, real early this morning, for a prayer breakfast that they had, and then an educational breakfast. And I talk about Challenge, Triumph, and Change, which is my book. But I also tell my story, and then I talk about the foundational work that we're doing and how to empower people to be the best that they can be, and utilize the game of golf as a way for recovery as well.
Right, absolutely. That is absolutely terrific. Major Ed, thank you so much for taking time out. I know that you're running around, and our best to JD, and hopefully we're going to be able to get them on and continue our discussion, and we'll get you back on sooner than later. And I appreciate everything you're doing, my friend.
Well, congratulations on your show, and to all the viewers out there, thank you. What a great day to be an American. Hoorah!
Hoorah, you got that right. Thank you, Major Ed. We appreciate it. All right, again, we're going to step away, just take a short break, and then come back and wrap up the show. Stay with us. If you're an avid golfer like I am, how great would it be living on a golf course? It's fantastic, but you're probably thinking golf course property is just too expensive. Well, I'm here to tell you that the folks at RWM Home Loans here in Las Vegas can make it happen. RWM Home Loans in Las Vegas will access a wide variety of ways to customize a loan to help you get into that golf course property or anywhere else for that matter. They offer first-time home buyer programs, jumbo loans up to $5 million, and even reverse mortgages. So do yourself a favor and call Casey Zari right here in Las Vegas at 702-888-2251. Get started on that new home or property. That's 702-888-2251, or just go to rwmhomeloans.com.
As golfers, we want instant gratification when it comes to a better golf swing and playing better golf. Impossible, you say? Not anymore. Golf Boost Artificial Intelligence, AI, has developed and patented the most advanced swing analysis technology in golf. Simply, the algorithms detect your body position and then analyze your golf swing using their artificial intelligence technology. The AI captures all the relevant data from your swing video and then presents you a personalized lesson. Golf Boost AI is the ultimate swing analysis and virtual instruction system for golfers of all ages and abilities. This sophisticated software takes into consideration your height and build, playing level, and returns the ideal solution for your swing. Bottom line, Golf Boost AI is an incredibly convenient and cost-effective tool for golfers to improve their swing. Go to golfboost.com and check it out. The app is free to download and try. Visit golfboost.com today.
Innovation begins at a single point. Elements, each with their unique character. Fire-forged steel creates unprecedented control. Chemistry delivers a touch so soft, combined to create a level of performance previously unimagined. Like magic, the Elixir, the new tour ball from Encore.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the 19th Hole Podcast for golfers. Great show. Appreciate Major coming on, and tell you, his family's got to be really, really proud of him. Just, one heck of a guy. Next week we've got a little bit different kind of show. We're in the middle of election season here in Nevada, like a lot of other states. So we're going to be doing one of them theme shows. We're going to have somebody on who's loves golf. He's actually running for U.S. Senate. Really, really nice man. So you could expect to see that next week. Same place, same time. So until then, so long, everybody.